It's Wednesday and I'm back at it. I'm on a different property now. I'm quite a ways in already. There's this really nice trail I can ride in on my bike. I'm probably a mile and a half in here already, but the rest of that is so close to the highway I wanted to wait so that the cars weren't so loud when I talked. But I've been trying to find places like this to hunt for quite a while because my wife used to go to college in the cities. Now that we're married and we've moved, I live closer to the cities. So before, when she was in school, I'd come visit on the weekends and I would look for a place to hunt, but it really wasn't that big a deal because I could hunt when I was at home, and whatever it was, I just didn't have that much ambition to come out here and look at this stuff. So this is a few years in the making. I'm finally getting everything put together now where I can come out and try to harvest some does with some buddies. So alright, so I'm here in another spot way back in here, and I found a bunch of really good trails. I'll show you here in a second, but you can see behind me it's all pretty open in here. It's a huge spot where the river comes together and the trees kind of end into a meadow, so the deer are going to naturally want to funnel through here. I'll go over here and I'll show you the trail I found crossing the water. There's two trails, they're pretty good. So here's one trail, you can see it through the weeds there. And then down there you can see a bunch of tracks crossing because it's fairly dry there. The other spot looks like it might be a little more mucky and wet, but there's a bunch of garbage up there they don't want to cross. A bunch of garbage over there they don't want to cross. I'll go show you the other one. So here's the other one. You can see right here. If you look real close, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but there's a bunch of tracks right here. The trail goes right there, right by that stick, and then right up there and on that way. Well, this probably ain't good for it. Hopefully when I pedal, if I can get most of this cleaned out, it'll just work itself out. Well, it seems to be working. The grass isn't in there anymore. It kind of ground it all out. There's a little bit, but not too bad. I'm in another spot now, and this is another pinch point where there's water out there, or at least it's wet, and the deer don't want to go through that, so they come around it. And right now I've seen tons of trails. They're not that easy to see on the camera, but there's one goes that way. There's another one that goes kind of that way. So there's a big open area here, and I think the deer would move through here quite often. I really like it. I left my bike back there in the grass because I didn't want to drag it through these tall willows that I had to walk through, so hopefully I'll get it back. If I don't, I end up walking back to the car and you guys see my blue and white bike that's been in the other videos. Let me know where you found it. I'd like to have it back. Well, I'm back by this tree where I thought I left my bike, and it's not by this tree apparently, so I'm gonna have to look around a little bit and see if I can find it. You can see how thick it is in here. Alright, so there's the tree that I thought I left my bike by, and there's my bike. Took a little while to find it, but I got it. So rather than going 3/4 of a mile that way to get around this creek on the trail and then coming back this way to go straight across, I decided to cut the corner here, and look what I found. Look at the crossing. Getting some water. You gotta be one with the nature. It's a little bit muddy, but it's not too bad. It's pretty refreshing, actually. Oh man. So after I crossed that little creek where I showed you guys the crossing last, I found that trail that came up on the other side, but as soon as it turned and went back west along the river, the trail just disappeared. And thinking back, I would have turned around then and then came around the long way, but it would have been easier. I ended up trekking through probably 2 miles of, it was itchweed up to my chest, and if it wasn't itchweed up to my chest, it was these those little green balls that stick to your everything up to my waist. And then if it wasn't that, it was tall grass like this that was at least waist deep most places, and then I had to drag my bike through it. It was not fun. You can see I'm sweating pretty bad. That took me over an hour and a half to go 2 miles. That way goes back to my car, and that way goes to a few more trails or a few more stands that I wanted to look at. I'm not going there tonight. I saw a ton of really good sign dragging my bike through there, so I bet this same thing is going to be over there. So that's it for me tonight. I'm heading back to my car. I'm going home, getting something to eat, and I'm probably going to get something to drink because I deserve a drink after that hike through that stuff. This nice ride right now is what I was expecting the whole way to be. I didn't expect to have to trek through that much stuff. You can see there's a nice trail here. Forgot to mention, it's supposed to be in the 90s Thursday, Friday, and then this weekend I'm going home, but I'm probably not going to come back out tomorrow or Friday. I'll be heading home Friday. I don't want to come out and do this in the heat. Sunday though, I'll be at home with my dad, and we will be doing stuff there in our woods. Son of a bitch. My chain fell off. We're gonna be doing stuff at home in our woods there. I'll bring you guys along for that. I'm gonna pull some of this grass out of my bike on the chain down there, and then I'm gonna put my chain back on, get the heck out of here.